Assalamualaikum and good day to all our sisters out there who are watching us from all over the world. This is the first episode of Sisters Chit Chat with the Superwoman edition. Yay, I'm so happy. Okay, I'm so happy that I'm able to invite this Sis Rebel into our first Superwoman edition. Okay, why I call this Superwoman? Because I believe that the woman that will be featured in this edition, they are all tough and resilient sisters. Yeah, come what may, they persevere, whatever life throws to them, they persevere. And that's why I feel that we need to hear their story. Yeah, and today I feel very privileged and very blessed to have my good old friend, Sis Bell, all the way from Perth, Australia. Assalamualaikum, how are you, Sis?
Waalaikumsalam. I'm good. Alhamdulillah. Thanks for having me around.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for at last we are able to meet face to face. Yeah, with all the challenges that we face. Alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah.
I'm so happy. That today, that's why I purposely put you in our first episode because I believe that you really have a lot, a lot to share. And of course, in this episode, I want to highlight, why I feel that you should be in my show because you are really tough, sis. You are really tough, Sri. Okay, ladies, for your information, I've known Sri Bell since we were 7 years old. Can you imagine? Yeah. Kita masih budak-budak tahi lagi ingus masih meleleh kan. And I with my ponytails, with your ponytails, and you also used to have ponytails, after that short hair, long hair, short hair. Okay, so yeah, we were in the same primary school for of course, for 6 years, and now we are mothers to teens. I have teens. She has, I think, tak lama lagi. Dia pun akan menantu. Adults, menantu. Yeah. But of course, just a little bit of history about Sri. She left for Australia eventually to follow her father. That was you went to Perth, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you can share with us. Yeah. What happened to you? It's like I remember you were from Yio Chu Kang Secondary School. I do have some friends, Yeah, I do have some friends who still remember you. Yeah, still remember you. Yeah, I think Liza is one of them. Liza was your schoolmate. Yep. So maybe you can share with us. Yeah. At what age you left Singapore and what happened?
I left to Australia in November 1989 to follow my dad. And my dad came to Australia. He was remarried and then brought us over here to stay, and so basically kind of like migrated to Australia to have a better, more prospectful life. So, and I've been here since 1989 November and all the way until now. So yeah. So,
and now you have your own family.
Yeah, I have my own family. I have 4 beautiful children, 3 adult children, and 1 still a teenager. I have my, my how do I call it? I always call him my angmo husband.
He is your angmo husband. Yeah. But Sri, life wasn't that rosy, right? I know at that time you were young.
No.
What age were you then? You were, I think, Sec 2, Sec 3?
I was just finished Sec 4 basically.
Oh, okay. I was
16 years old, when I came here.
And you were with your younger brother, right?
I was with my younger brother Danny, who's 2 years younger than me. Yeah.
Okay, so
and life wasn't rosy. It wasn't as like, how people think that, when you move
it's
to
so
another
nice, right? Yes, it's so nice to migrate. And now you're following your father with a new stepmother. Maybe you can share with us.
It wasn't easy having to, it's basically a culture shock as well. You're used to something that's in Singapore with the Asian tradition, and then suddenly having to adjust to the culture shock. For example, like simple things like transportation was very difficult to get around in Perth back then. Food was a bit hard as well to get around, to get, things that we're so used to where we can just go down the road, all things that we take for granted suddenly became something that is like the unknown, and and that was a bit hard to basically, the culture shock basically was hard, and not having family and friends was also very difficult as well. Close family and close friends that's around to, so like kind of like the community, the support. But you have to basically, I started building up friends and having, making friends with a lot of people, and I knew some of the family here that's from Singapore that actually until now are still good friends with me, and the family kind of adopted me as their family as well. So I'm kind of blessed in that way, meeting some of the Singaporean people that
So
actually
when
migrated.
Yeah, when I understand. I mean, it's like starting all over again, right? I mean, at the
Yeah,
age of
exactly.
16, you
Mm,
you are I mean, you are a teenager, you already have your so-called colleague, clique, right? We already have clique,
yeah,
kawan-kawan kan dekat sekolah,
yeah,
and suddenly you are thrown to this new environment. At that age, I
yeah.
can imagine, at the age of 16, and your brother then was 14,
14, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you really like have to, I believe that you learn a lot, right, on your own. You just have to learn
Oh
to be
yes, we
independent.
did. Yeah, yeah. I actually moved out of home when I was like 17 years old. Had to live on my own. And yeah, that was an eye opener for me. Having to be independent, having to look for a job to pay for all the rent and stuff like that, which kind of like set me up to be a bit more independent and more reliable on, relying on myself to actually find ways to, um, how do I say, find ways to, um, arrange my life, like going to school, having to pay for the bills and things like that. So it wasn't an easy upgrowing for me from when I was young. So
Okay. Is it a culture there? I mean, is it an Angmo culture to for children to leave their home at the age of 17, 18? I mean, even
most
though
of
they
the
are
time, the Western culture, they do believe in that. They believe that once the kids grow at a certain age,
rich,
where they can find their own independence, they prefer their kids to actually move out
so
of their
parents
own lives. Yeah,
prefer their children to move out on their own.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. So that is, right? I mean, in Singapore, so
We
long
don't.
as
Yeah,
you're still a bachelor,
yeah,
even at the age of 40, you're still living
yeah,
under the same roof,
yeah.
under the same
Correct.
roof as your
Yeah,
parents. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh,
But a
that's
lot of the like the kids, the culture down here, once they turn 18 or they turn 17, when they're able to be independent, they like to have their independence. And even for my son, my kids who are brought up in more of an Asian like tradition, they still feel that they need their own space and their own independence. So they
okay.
will go out and like,
Okay.
find that space for their own. Yeah.
Understand. They want that space and
Yeah.
freedom.
The
Freedom,
freedom,
right?
yes, exactly.
No
No one
more
to tell them what to do.
to
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can go back anytime. They can hang around
Yeah.
anytime with their friends, right? No
Yeah.
curfew. I think the big word is
Yeah.
curfew. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, my
exactly.
son still have curfews.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let's rewind back. I remember that, sisters out there, just for your info, during our time, I still remember Sari and I, we used to write, we are like pen pal friends, We
Mm.
still keep in touch. We write letters. Actually, I do still have that letters, at my mom's place.
Oh,
Really, really,
wow.
really. Yeah, I still keep them, Siri will tell me, what she did, how's life there. But generally life is good. I mean, whatever that she wrote in the letter, it's like it
Mm.
sounds good. Nothing maybe at that time we are still naive, right? We don't know
Yeah,
how to share. But I believe that by writing it is an outlet, right, to you, Siri.
correct.
Definitely,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
It is a way to connect to other people and actually letting out, how you feel. And I think writing letters or like in form of like text messages or emails are actually good for, for the soul, kind of like cleansing, soul cleansing. You're able to express the things that you wanna, what you wanna say.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
And
Yeah.
it's a good form of communication and connection, I think.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
in my opinion anyway. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a therapy, yeah, and it's a good
Mm.
relationship building. Yeah, that's what I
Mm.
miss in those days, where we don't have yeah, I mean we don't have internet, we don't have, text messages. So literally we have to write on pen and paper, yeah, and wait for
Yeah.
the mail to come, 2 weeks,
Yes.
1 week or 2 weeks, then you will receive your reply.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta go and get the stamp. You have to go out and post it and stuff like that. So
Yes,
it's a lot of trouble, but if you're willing to go through all that, it's worth it. Yeah,
yes,
it was
yes.
worthwhile. Yeah,
Sri, I understand that you got married at a young age. I mean,
very young age. Yeah.
yeah, very young age. When you told me that you got married, I remember at the age of 18, right? If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, she got married at the age of 18. And at that time, when I got the news that Sri got married at the age of 18, I was still in my, budak-budak sekolah, my mentality still masih, Suri dah nak jadi, isteri orang, that kind of thing, somebody's wife. I still like couldn't relate, when I was told that you're getting married. But How was life then? Getting married at the age of 18. What were your thoughts then? Maybe you can share with us because at this age and when we reflect back, sometimes we know that the things that we do because of the situation at that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
think
you
for
can
me it
share.
was a family. I needed that stability of having a family. And I feel like getting married was like a starting of a family, because I had my my eldest son at the age of 19 a year after. So it was more of, for me, it was a family thing. I needed a family because I came
Security,
here like
security,
basically,
stability.
yeah, there is no, I haven't got my mom here. I don't have my I do have my dad here, but kind of like not having my dad here at the same time, because he's got his own family as well. So it's kind of, for me, I needed my own family to basically to help me to grow. So that was the reason why. And I think it helps a lot. It settles me down, and it actually, grounded me quite a lot as well. Having to think, to start up a family. It wasn't that easy. We went through, like, my husband, my ex and I went through a lot of a lot of hurdles, to get through our life. We didn't start off, we didn't have much money. My husband was also working at that time, my ex, and and then having a baby on the way. So we struggled quite a lot, but we managed. Yeah, thank God, Alhamdulillah, we managed. Yeah.
So you got
Yeah.
you got married and you were staying on your own, a place of
Yeah,
your own.
on a rental, in a rental. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we rented
So
a house. Yeah.
how was marriage like then? Because I understand that eventually it did not last, right?
No, it wasn't
Maybe you can
easy,
share
because
with
when you're
us.
young, you have like different mentality. Even though as much as you want the stability and the security, but you also do want you still want to be young and enjoying yourself. You want to still go shopping and stuff like that. But financially, you are unable to do all that. So it's kind of like you feel like you're having to grow up, but trapped in a young, still in a young, having that
Young mentality,
young
yeah.
mentality, ideology of like, hey, I'm still young, I still can do this, I still can do that, but you actually are, you're not, where you have to basically turn the clock in your head and say, like, hang on a minute, this is not, even though I am still young, but I am not in that situation, I am not in that phase yet, still I need to grow up a little bit. So it took me a while to grow up, but eventually, alhamdulillah, everything settles for, everything happens for a reason. And
How
it
old
taught
was
me a
your
lot of
husband
things.
then
Yeah,
when you got married? You were 18. How old was he then?
he was 19.
Oh, okay. So you're
Yeah,
quite of the
both
same
of us were
age.
quite young.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
what eventually, okay, I understand that you have two boys, right, from that first marriage.
yeah,
You have two boys, right? Okay.
yeah.
So what happened then? I mean, if everything is okay, you mentioned, right, everything is okay. Eventually you managed to sell the thing. So why the separation in the end?
I think it's all about the financial status as well, and family, and it's the stress, basically the stress factor of having to perform, or to be, to have this, once you are, I don't know what it's like over in Singapore, but sometimes when you're living in Australia, it's such a small culture of the Malay culture. People do talk and people do
Oh,
judge. So
oh.
you always have to have this, this how do I say, like this persona where you actually having to live up to everybody's expectation.
Oh, it
And I
happens
think that,
there? I thought it only
yeah,
happens in Singapore. So it's
oh,
happened
I
everywhere.
don't know. I thought that, and I think that is what I think one of the reason why, I
Oh.
was like, you feel like you're free, but you're not free, because you kind of like feel like you have to always be careful of what you do, because people are always judging all the
Okay.
things that
And
you do
that
in life,
affects you? That
right?
affects you? That affects you?
Yes, it does affect you, especially when you are married to a quite, like my ex was, the family was quite reputable and quite respected by a lot of people. So
Oh,
it's kind of like you always have to have that image of,
a
of having to
good
look like
wife, a
that,
good
the good one.
person.
Yeah,
Oh, living living what the community expect you to
yeah,
be.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay. And you
yeah,
find that yeah, I understand. Maybe for a
yeah.
while you can take it, but after a while that's
But
just not
after a
you.
while, you just get like going like, I want to live my own life. I want to be me. I don't want to be someone else that I'm not. So I think that took a toll on it as well. And financially, because we were both young and we, having to maintain I'm not saying maintain a lifestyle, but having a lifestyle to make sure that we have got roof over our head, food on the table and all that, that kind of like, makes it a bit hard as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so eventually, how long did the marriage lasted?
Probably when my eldest was about 4 years old,
Oh,
we kind of like, separated. Yeah.
okay. Then what
Kind of go
happened
out.
then? Maybe you can share with us your marriage life. Yeah. Then what happened
Yeah.
then?
And then we both like, we just work, I find another job and then I try to raise my children the best that I can. You do what you have to do basically to survive, and I was lucky that the dad actually does help me quite a lot by taking care of them whenever I go to work and things like that. So we kind of like work together as parents. You have to, especially when you're separated, you cannot ignore one or the other. You have to basically be, have to be as cooperative as possible for the sake of your children.
Oh,
And so I was actually quite lucky because I put both of my boys in the Islamic school in Perth, which they have got the Islamic guidance, which I know that I'm unable to give them, or the dad unable to help them with. So that is kind of good, and that helps them to have a little bit of grounding, and Islamic background, which kind of like take a little bit of pressure from me as well and their dad. So which is that helps a lot, and I do recommend that if you coming to a Western world, if there is an Islamic school there, enroll your kids in the Islamic school, because it's like it takes the pressure off you, having to worry about how am I going to teach them akhlaq and all the praying and all that when you yourself are not are not guided or not well well
not
informed
well
about
versed
it.
lah. Yeah. I mean, we know what we need to do, but
Yeah.
maybe we find that our knowledge is limited. We are still in the learning process. Yeah, even
Yeah.
for myself, yeah, until today we're still in the learning process. I think
Yeah.
that's a good advice. So like what you said, for those who are in the Western country, you have to make effort to look for some Islamic school or some Islamic religious center where your children at least can be guided back to the Muslim,
Exactly.
what every Muslim need to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So where exactly in Perth are you?
I'm actually in Thornley in Southern River, basically south of the river of Western Australia. So yeah, we got a lot of Malay communities here, which is kind of good. And we got I think there's two mosques here, just up the road from my house, and we've got an Islamic school just down the road as well in Thornley.
What is the name of
So
that Islamic school?
the Islamic school is Islamic apa? Allah Akbar. Islamic Muslim College, I think.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. So it's a
ILC, I think. Yeah. And
so
then
it's
my
a
daughter also goes to one of the Langford Islamic College down the road as well. There's that
Alhamdulillah.
just for the girls as well, so which is kind of
Ah,
good. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so basically, I believe that they basically are all in English, right? English, and they
Yeah,
learn a bit
yeah,
of
English
Arabic.
and Arabic as well.
Arabic,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yeah. Okay, that's good, that's good. So now, I know that Alhamdulillah, you have a good life, and now you're with your third husband,
My third
third
husband, yeah.
marriage.
Yeah, and then I have my second one and then I have my daughter with him as well. Yeah, so yeah, and
Okay.
she's
So it's your second one? Okay, your first one is an Australian. He's an
my
Australian.
first one is Malaysian.
Oh, Malaysian, Australian.
Yeah,
Australian, Malaysian.
yeah.
Okay.
Malaysian but live in Australia. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then your second one?
My
Australian?
second one, he's from Malaysia, but he's actually Spanish Filipino. So he's a convert as well. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and also you face some challenges with the second one.
Of course, yeah. You know, life is never, it's never hunky-dory for me, but yeah, the
Okay.
second one, yeah, it was a bit hard because there was a bit more domestic, stuff involved. So I had to like basically break away from that cycle, which is not that great for my daughter either and for myself.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to make that choice whether to either stay on or you have to make that choice to break away from that cycle and just to see what's good for yourself. So yeah, and then that's when I started working full time, and to carry myself and my kids as a single mom. So, but I did. Alhamdulillah, I'm actually quite surprised that actually managed. Throughout. I was working night shift. I was working from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, and leaving my kids with my ex to help to look after with their dad. But that's why I said that even though you may be separated, but you still need to help to co-parents.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that's something that I learned from you, Sri. I mean, what I can see is that even though, as a couple, we are separated, but you still build that relationship for the sake of the children, meaning
For the
that,
children, yeah.
meaning that we still have responsibilities over our children, and each of us still have to play our role, although we are no longer, as a husband and wife. Yeah, but eventually we are still, parents to our children.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And the respect is always there for them, regardless, whatever happens. I always put my kids first before myself. If I have to bow down like a little bit, and just say, okay, just to take it on a surface level, you just have to do it sometimes,
Okay, and I can see that, I can also see that you took your children with you. Yeah, you took your children with you. Yeah, I mean, for you, I believe that whatever it is, it's okay. Importantly is that my children are with me, even though we are separated, but my children are with me. Yeah, and I also find that you see, sisters, what I find about Suri is that yes, she has gone through a unsuccessful marriage. For the first one, and the second one, she tried. She did not give up. She tried, but still things don't work out. And you know why? Because some women, it's like, okay, first one don't work out, second one die have to make it work out, even though you know that it's sometimes it's impossible because you just don't want to go through that pain again. But for you, I can see that no means no. If we have to separate amicably, I will do that. That means you don't want to go through that process again.
Sometimes things you've got to have a clear conscience to know what is the consequences of sometimes wanting something so badly and needing something so badly is two totally different things. What you need in your life and what your children needs in your life and what you want in your life and your idea of this perfect marriage is two totally different things. Because what the children need is more important than what you want. You can have this idea like, oh, I'm gonna have this perfect marriage, that live life happily ever after, nice house, and but that's what you want. But the reality is that is the foundation of your marriage solid, and is the foundation of the marriage safe for your children? And that's what you have to think. Is that needed? Does your kid need to be in that situation or in that lifestyle for you to maintain what you want? That's how I base my decision at all times. I always put my children first. Is what kind of life do I want for my children? When they grow up, is that what they pain and suffering, or do I want to give my child some sort of a little bit of happiness, even if it means that I have to divert from what I want? So that's how I base my life every single time. Every option and choices that I make, and I give this advice to my children as well, is that you make that choice. At the end of the day, whether can you live with the consequences of your choices is what you need to deal with.
Yeah.
If you're unable to live with the consequences, then probably that's not the right choice.
True.
So
we have to be responsible over what we decided, right? I mean, you make that choice. Nobody forced you. Nobody put a gun in our head to say that you have to choose black or white. At the end of the day, you think about it, you make your own analysis, and you go with it, and whatever comes, you just have to face it.
You deal with it.
So were you working, I mean, during this period of time, were you working or were you a housewife? You know why? Because
I was working
believe
most of the time with when I have my kids. I make that conscious decision to work, because to me that's my children, and I want to give them the best thing in life. So I need to work to survive. I mean, well, we're pretty lucky in Australia where we, we have got good healthcare, we got good benefits and stuff like that. But sometimes people might think that, oh yeah, that's enough. It's not enough. If you want to give your children more than more than just a basic lifestyle, you need to have to work. You need to have to find some financial, yourself. Not just depend on what the
The
of,
government is
that.
giving, yeah, whatever benefits the government is giving us, yeah.
Yeah,
That is, we
exactly.
should consider that as a bonus, but we
Yeah, it
shouldn't
is a bonus.
depend,
Yeah.
yeah, we shouldn't depend on that solely.
Mm.
Yeah. So long as we have the opportunity to work, why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, just now you
So
mentioned about
I went to work and work my, I went back studying and stuff like that, just to upskill myself so I could get somewhere in the company that I was working. And it pays the house, I bought a house, and we went holidays. I take my kids on holidays. They have a, for, for my children, I think they have quite an exciting life, having,
Alhamdulillah.
yeah,
Yeah.
alhamdulillah, yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, they have a great mom. Yeah, who always think of
I
them.
try,
Yeah. We're all
to-
trying to be the best, although we are not the best.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We try.
We try. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we are called mothers, right? It's always our
Yes,
children
exactly.
first. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Despite our necks, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Despite our necks, despite our ranting, but deep inside we have, good intention for our children, right?
Intention, yeah, exactly. It's always, I always say to them, I say, if you ever need your help, I said, while I'm still breathing, I said, I'm here to help regardless,
Yeah, yeah. Just,
no matter what age, you can be 56, 60 years old. I said, if I'm still breathing,
yeah.
you can still count on me. Yeah.
Yeah, Sri, I agree with you. Even if our children are 50 or 60 years old, we will still see them as our babies, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
our babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be a father to your children, but to me, in my eyes, in our eyes, you are still our babies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the day that we hold them in our arms. Yeah, I mean that's something I think every mother could relate. Yeah. So to all the
Mm.
sisters out there, so this is Rebel. You see, it's like she has gone through a lot, but the way she share with us is like, oh, it's okay. I'm over it. The way she put it, like it's so simple, but I know she has gone through a lot. And Sari, just now you mentioned about healthcare. I also
Mhm.
understand that at one point in your life you were challenged with cancer.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you can
Yes,
share
I
with us. Yeah, when does it happen? How was your family's reaction upon your first diagnosis?
Okay, well, my first diagnosis, I think it was 2013. I had a lump on my neck, and then it ended up being a non-Hodgkin lymphoma cancer.
Okay.
So we went through an intensive like chemo and stuff like that to get rid of it. I got rid of it kind of like in remission for 6 years, somehow by fluke, apparently. That's what my doctor reckoned. I'm a freak of nature. Apparently, I shouldn't be here after 6 years because it was a when they actually tried to fix me, because it went away and then it came back again. And then the second time that it came back, it went straight. I had like tumor
Oh,
masses on my head as well, on my brains. So they were giving me like 3 months to live. And they said, oh, the chemo that they gave me was just like an extension kind of chemo. Wasn't like any trial or anything that was specifically for it. So it was just like a thrown in chemo just to see how it works, and it works out all right. And I had a stem cell transplant with it. It was, but it gave me an extra 6 years of my life to basically spend time with my family, and I'm so blessed for that. And then, and then I just recently found out that the tumor came back again in my head. Right now, that's why I'm so bloated at the moment. I'm on steroids again. So I'm still waiting for treatment. The healthcare down here, alhamdulillah, is so good because I was so blessed that all the treatments that they gave me, like the stem cell transplant, the chemo and all that, have cost like, the country, I would say over $600,000 basically for
wow.
my treatment. And it didn't come out of any of my
In your
pocket
pocket.
at all. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So everything is
Mm.
being paid by the
Big
government.
bit to the government. So we
Yeah.
are so lucky in that sense,
So
because I don't,
now, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you're lucky in that sense. Yeah, you don't have to. Mm,
I don't have to worry about the financial side of it. So which is kind of like easy for me, and I was so glad that my mom actually, pre-COVID, my mom was actually here to help us out as well. She came over and, helped to cook and look after my kids. That's moms,
yeah, all
and
the
she,
way from
she
Singapore, right?
all the way from Singapore, came over, cook and clean for me and, and look after my children for me. help me to look after my husband by taking over all the house duties and stuff like that was a blessing, And then I have to thank my papa, my stepdad in Singapore, that allows her to come over here when her duty was supposed to be looking after him, and he's like allowing her to come over here for every 3 months, to look after me. And that was a blessing, having a family, having a mom here to help me. That kind of like helped me. And I think when I was going through all that, my children, I felt, you feel like, I don't know, like, maybe, I don't know if anybody who's actually watching this interview as well, this show, is probably who's going through it. Sometimes you feel like as though you're a burden, you feel like a burden to your family because your family have to adjust around you. Don't ever feel that way, because they don't feel that way. And the more that you talk to them and tell them that, hey, thank you, and appreciate them for being there for you, the more that they will be able to accept the fact that, that is okay. And I think communication while you are actually going through this kind of trauma or tragedy or whatever you want to call it, illness and all that, is important with your family. Letting your family know where you are at, how you feel at that time, because at that time, like when I'm going through all this, like there are times when I just want to eat like food that is from Singapore, and I said to my husband, I just feel like curry or this or that, like mee rebus or whatever. And he will go through hell and back just to go and find somewhere to just bring it back. And then when he brings it back and it doesn't taste like back home, you feel disappointed, but then you feel like, you feel like so ungrateful that your husband has gone through all this trouble to get you something, and then you feel like you kind of like throw it back at their face. But you just need to explain to them that's how you feel, because that feeling will always, you always feel like as though you feel like you are ungrateful, but it's just a feeling that you cannot avoid when you're going through all this kind of thing. And and having the good communication with your partner or with your kids is very important, letting them know how you feel at that time, so they realize that it's not them, that they failed or you fail, it's just that they're overwhelmed.
I understand. I think it's the medication. No, it's not you. It's just the medication that made you, it doesn't taste nice. Yeah. So
everything there. Like right now, I've lost like my sense of taste and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just due to the medication.
Understand. So I like what you say when you say that don't think that we are a burden. I mean, we shouldn't feel that way, because I think being Asian generally, now that you mention it, right, it just got on me that that's how we feel. I mean, when we are sick, we feel like we are useless, we are helpless. We became a burden to especially our immediate family members, especially to our partners, to our children, because suddenly their life have to be around us. Everything has to stop because they have to take turns to take care of us, right? We become so dependent, especially you, me. We know that we are independent women. We want to do things on our own. We run around a lot.
I can't drive, so I'm so frustrated because I can't just jump in my car and drive,
Exactly. I know how it feels.
Frustrating.
It is. Things that we used to do on our own, and now we are getting people even as simple as walking, standing up, right? Going to the bathroom. We need assistance. So we feel like, hey, am I? But I think, we should take it as Allah is also testing all of us, and actually He's trying to test our patience.
Yes, exactly.
Not just us, but also especially our family members. They want to see how far in this kind of situation. Because tough people, when you are tough, then you know how far you can go, right?
Yes, exactly. You know your strength when all this get
When you are
thrown
down. Yes, when you are down, when you have nothing, that's where you know how far you can go. I mean, when you're so down, where else can you go, right? The
Yes,
next
exactly.
is to go upwards.
Upwards, up and forwards,
Precisely. So I do agree with you. We need to get the support from our families, and of course, I think our mother's prayer lah. So I think both of us, we're still very lucky. I know your mom, Cik Rohani. Yes, I still remember her name, right? Cik Rohani, right? Your mom. So Cik Rohani, if you're watching this, salam to you. I know that she's a very soft and tender and patient woman. Yeah.
Honestly, if I didn't grow up with my mom when I was young, I don't think so I could probably survive this, because my mom has taught me a lot how to be an independent lady. You know, she is like basically my rock, my hero, you know. Yeah. How she survived in being a single mom in Singapore all those years was like this. That actually helped me to, to gather myself and said, if she can survive, be a single woman in Singapore and survive, I'm living in Australia, the land of opportunities. How can I not, And I'm like going like, put my mom to shame if I can't, That's how I
Yeah.
see it as, I tell
She's
you, Singaporean women are very, very tough women, because
Alhamdulillah.
yeah, alhamdulillah, yeah,
Yeah, and that's why you are in our Superwoman edition. You see how super she is, to her it's like nothing is impossible. Yeah, so long as you have your two legs, two hands, you can still move.
exactly.
Yeah, we will just move, and
Yeah,
Allah will know. He will
yeah,
definitely send us some help in one way or
yeah,
another. So we going back to your illness, I remember that you did mention when you were informed that you don't have much time to live.
yeah,
I read somewhere in your posting, you said that you wrote a birthday note to your son. That was your
yeah,
youngest. Yeah.
yeah, my
Every
youngest, yeah,
year. Maybe you
yeah.
can share with us.
Yeah, so he was, I think when I was told that news, it was
13,
2014. So
14.
2013, I was told, and then 2014, I was told that he came back, and that was when I was told I had 3 years. So
Oh.
he is born in 2007. So how old was he
So he
then?
was
So it was
seven,
like 6 or 7
7.
years.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
So
Yeah.
it was like an eye opener for me to go like, oh my God, he's gonna grow up without a mother for a while. So what I did was we went out. And I spoke to the doctor. I said, how long have I got? He goes, like 3 months. He goes, I give you only 3 months. And I was like, okay. So I went out and bought some birthday cards. So for each year of the birthday card, I wrote something for him, just like a note, just to say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I may not be here, but all inspirational words to say that I'm here and don't give up in whatever you do, never give up, that I'm always going to be by your side, even though I'm not here, and always tell him to always, pray to Allah, and also always be good to his dad, you know. And if you ever need someone to talk to his dad or his brothers and sister. And but so that was the only thing that I could do, just to sort of like leave a little bit of legacy of me, of like little notes like that. And I found the cards like a few months ago, and it was like, and I went through it, and I wasn't sure whether if I wanted to give it to him or not, for his birthdays. But I asked him, I said, do you want, I said, this is what I've written for you. I said, it's yours if you want to have it, I said, if you don't want it, just throw it away. So, you don't have to relieve it, because he doesn't have to anymore. But yeah, that's what I did. I bought like some birthday cards and write like nice notes for them. It's just, I know, I mean, it's not but sometimes it's nice just to have a little piece of someone that, that you, to me, the way I said, if he can't have me, it's just a little bit of me that's there to kind of like grounded him, to kind of like remind him that, that I'm there all the time.
So
Yeah,
you know what? I mean, I thought it only happened in the movies.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm literally crying now. No, I can't imagine you writing. I would be crying, writing every word, every letter,
Yeah,
thinking
I
that,
was. Yeah,
yeah, thinking that my son will be reading this when I'm no longer around. I
yeah,
don't,
yeah,
yeah, I don't think I can
yeah.
finish writing. So just by listening to you, as a mother, I can feel so much. It's like, wow, it's so much emotion. And I thought it only
Mm.
happened in the movies, and it's really happening to my good friend, my dear friend. Wow, you are so, yeah, that's why I said you are very strong, and yeah, you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So
That's
sorry
the only
to
choice that I have is, you can either choose, like I said, everybody is given a choice. You can either just more, deal with it and just go like, oh, okay, shit happens, oh, my life is so sad. Or you can either be strong and say, hang on, I'm going to put this past behind me. I'm just going to move forward and see how I can run my life with, from now on. Just run with it. That's the only choice that I have, is to be strong, you know.
You are strong. That's why I
Oh,
call you superwoman.
I try, alhamdulillah. You okay?
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So, okay, Sri, moving forward, what is your
Mhm,
advice to our, sisters out there who are,
mhm,
yeah, I mean, going through, I know life is, yes, life is not a bed of roses, but
mhm.
sometimes we do need to smell the roses. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
what's your
So
personal
my
advice?
my this is the advice that my mom always tell me. As a woman, you always have to think about yourself as well. Even though you're married, right? My mom always said to me, when I go to work, she goes, make sure that you save some for yourself. It's not hiding away from your husband, but you have a buffer for yourself. If anything happens to anyone, happens to you, you've got a buffer, you've got a savings there to help you to get through. And the best advice she ever has. But I'm always open with my husband. I always said that we've got a shared account, but I said I also have my own account. I'm going to put this money towards myself, and for myself, just in case. And he's always very open with things like that, as long as you're upfront with them. Just in case if this happened, what's going to happen. Always have a buffer. Always look out for yourself. It's very important. And secondly, I always believe that there's nothing that's impossible. And I always think I'm possible. You always find ways. And never to be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes a lot of people think that asking help is a weakness, but it's not really a weakness. It's actually strength. It took a lot of strength and courage to ask for help, because you're not undermining yourself that you're weak. You're just saying that, I just need a little bit of a push to get me somewhere, to get you started. And never ever underestimate the power of asking for help, because it will eventually, someone, even if you have to ask 10 people, one person will eventually,
Yes.
feel you and have a little bit of compassion and empathy and will help you up. It doesn't, but always look after yourself, number one. As a woman, we always have to look after us. I go by three rules. Number one, look after myself. Number two is follow rule number one. Number three is follow one and two, follow rule number one, two. It's always about me, 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 me. But I have to, because, I have got 3 kids that is from previous marriage. If anything happens to me, who's going to look after them? Even though my husband, my now husband, he's an amazing father, an amazing man. But it's not his responsibility. It's still my responsibility. You know.
Oh,
And yeah, and always look. Yeah, that's how I see it. And if things, and always have backup plans. This is me. I always have backup plan. I have backup plans. So if I have plan B, I will have plan C and D, because if plan C doesn't work, you got to go back to plan D. So you always have to be, on this drawing board, and always thinking about 2-3 steps ahead of what's going to happen. I know a lot of people go like, yeah, that's a little bit morbid, thinking about what if.
what if?
I'm like, yeah, the what ifs. I say, yeah, but the what ifs can happen. So what if it happens? So, like they say, always take an umbrella, even if it's not raining. But that is the what if. What if it's rain? So what are you going to do then? If you don't have any backup plan, then where are you're going to be stuck? Um, Health wise, always realize that number one is wealth is not as important as health. Health, always look after yourself, number one, because yeah, your health is more important than wealth, because you can always get wealth anywhere if you're healthy. You can find work, you can find money, but you don't have the health. You got to stop work. And that's more, but more like more things on top, piling on top of whatever that you're dealing with at that time. So yeah, I think my advice for all the sisters is to take care of yourself first. Always think of yourself as number one, especially when you have your children. Your responsibility is, you know, people always said, oh, but you have your children. Children are your priorities. No, your children are your responsibility. Your priority is you. You make yourself as number one priority. You don't make your children as your number one priority. Your children are your responsibility, but you are your priority. You got to take care of you first, and then you can be able to be responsible enough to take care of your children. But if you don't put yourself as number one, you don't put yourself as your priority, then you're not going to be able to take care of yourself, nor your children. So, and have a good, very mindset. You got to change your mindset. When things get harder, don't worry about it. Just, let it go and change your mindset. So, instead of going like, oh yeah, I'm in a hard life right now. think about what can I do to make it easier.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
Think
that's that
positive. Yeah,
mindset that you have to, be
yes.
positive.
Be
Always be
positive.
positive.
Yeah.
Anything that
Think,
negative that happens to you is not a negative thing. It's just helping you to think differently.
think
You
out of
know,
the box. Correct.
yeah, think
Yeah.
outside of
If
the
you're
box.
out of
Yeah,
job,
definitely.
then you have to think maybe what are the options? Maybe you can work
What,
from home.
yes, exactly. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a drink.
It's okay, no problem. Yeah, so let me just summarize what has been shared by our sistery. Wow, she said a lot of things. She said only 3 things, but she didn't realize that actually she said more than 3.
So sorry.
I mean, that's nice. That's so nice. She said, of course, we need to have financial backup, yeah, for ourselves, financial buffer. We don't know
Mhm,
what could happen. Yeah, then
mhm,
don't feel shy to ask for help. We need help.
mhm.
Yeah, we need
Yeah,
help. So don't feel weak. Actually, by asking for help, we are, today we might ask people for help, but you never know. Other time,
mhm.
people might come to us for help.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it's like a community. Yeah, asking
yeah.
for help. Yeah, it's a community. And yeah, have backup plans, yeah, ABCD.
Mhm.
And which is expect the unexpected. I agree with you. We
Yeah.
must always expect the unexpected, and don't get so worked out if something don't work our way, because sometimes we just have to, okay, just relax, step back and think what are the next
Mm.
option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That's correct.
Yeah,
You're
sisters
spot
out
on
there.
there.
Yeah, for your info, even before our meeting, we are supposed to meet 2 weeks ago. But like what Sisri has said, suddenly she had a relapse, she had to go to therapy. So I said it's okay, but Allah
Mhm.
has prepared me for better things. So Allah want her to be in our Superwoman edition. That's why she's here today. Yeah, and she'll be the first to be featured in our Superwoman edition. That's why she's
Oh,
here.
thank you. I am so honored, actually.
Yeah, that's why I say Allah has a better plan for us. Yeah, you're supposed to be in our first episode, I mean first part, but eventually, yeah, you're in a better, I would say better episode, yeah, Superwoman. So thank you so much, Sisri, all the way from Perth, Australia. I know that there's so many things that you have shared with us, and I've gained a lot of, yeah, although I know you, but we went through, yeah, I mean, you had your life, I had my life, we went through, we were apart for quite a bit, but Alhamdulillah, with technology, we managed to reconnect. Yeah,
Connect.
that's the
Yeah.
best part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get lost, we reconnect.
Mhm.
Yeah. We know that at the end of the day, we still have that good old friendship.
Yeah.
Yep.
We do.
I'm so blessed to have that. Yeah. And
I'm so blessed to know you all these years as well. I used to
Alhamdulillah.
remember the times that we were in primary school, it was so, yeah, all our quizzes and stuff like that, brings back good memories. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
been good. Always been good. Yeah. Yep. And to those of you who are watching, do like, share, and give us your comment. You never know who might be listening and who will benefit from this sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
So
hope that somehow, if I can help one person, that's one person more that, can have a better life. That to me, it's rewarding enough,
yes,
and
yes.
I hope that with sharing all my whatever that I have, I'm happy to, if I'm happy, if someone wants to talk to me personally or message me directly to ask me
Yes.
how I go through all my chemo and all my, I'm
Challenges.
happy to
Yeah.
share with anything. Yeah.
True, true. That's what this is, Sisters Kitchen is all about. My job is to reconnect. If there's something common that you think you need to share or you need to know, just reconnect to any of the sisters that I've been talking to. Yeah, we are more than happy to share a little bit of our life
Yeah,
experiences. Yeah, yeah. We might
exactly.
not know everything, but maybe there's
Yeah.
something that you are going through that is quite similar with what
Mm,
any of the sisters is experiencing
yeah,
right now. Yeah, thank you
exactly.
so much, Cicely.
Oh,
My
thank you,
prayer for
Zarina.
you. Thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you for
think we
having
should
me
say
around.
hi. Sorry, we should say hi to our good friend Haryani Mustajab.
Yes, I know, Haryani. I know.
Yeah,
I actually had a chat with her the other, like, couple weeks ago. Yeah.
yeah. So I know she's also in good hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, to all of you who are listening, you know who you are. Yeah. We couldn't say hi to each and every one of you. Yeah, but we know that our primary school has always been a good years, yeah, because we are
Yeah.
so, I don't know, I really enjoy ourselves, and I feel that we
I
are
think
just like
yeah.
one big family, our
Yeah.
cikgu Rosna, cikgu Rafiah, cikgu Sauda,
Yeah.
cikgu Mahama, cikgu Chaladi, all that.
I
Yeah, I
saw
know.
Cikgu Rafiqah the other day at the shops. Yeah.
Okay.
She's
How is
really
she?
well. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Please send her my regards. Tell her
Oh,
to contact me if she's back in Singapore.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. So to all of you who knows us, any of our primary school or even Sri's from Yio Chu Kang Secondary. So I think she got a lot of friends there. Yeah, I know Sri, you're very popular in Yio Chu Kang Secondary, okay? Yeah.
Yeah,
Who doesn't
one of
know
the
Sri
naughty
Ratna
girls.
Devi?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the most popular, actually, even in primary school. Yeah, I envy you. Okay, never mind. That is another topic, another day. Okay, to all sisters who are watching,
All
thank
right.
you so much. Thank you
Take
so much.
care.
Send my regards to your mom. Yeah, to your
I will,
mom.
inshallah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rohani. Yeah, I would. Yeah, she's in Singapore. I think I should keep in
She's
touch with
still
her.
in Singapore. Yeah.
Yeah, she's still in
Our
Singapore. Okay.
borders closed at the moment, so it's very difficult to come in.
Yeah.
We're kind of like secluded, yeah, country at the moment.
Understand. But no
Mm.
worries, with technology, we can always meet each other
Contact
like
each other.
this. Yeah, contact each other like this. Yeah. Okay, so my hugs to you, my prayers to you,
Yeah,
stay well, stay strong, stay positive, and
I will.
take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You
Thank
have a good
you.
day.
You
Thank you,
too.
everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.